You know, when you look at what Elon Musk is doing, electric cars, rockets, brain chips, AI, it can feel a little all over the place, right? But what if I told you there's a single idea, one unified mission that connects all of it? Well, we've dug into a recent conversation with him, and we've basically pieced together his unified theory of the future. So, let's get into it.
And boom, here it is. This is the core of it. He says the whole point of all his companies is to maximize the probability that civilization has a great future. So you see, it's not just about building cool gadgets or shiny rockets. It's a full-on mission statement. He's trying to make sure we don't just, survive, but actually have an amazing future. And this one idea, it's the key. It's what makes everything else, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, suddenly click into place.
Okay, so let's break this down. The first pillar of his whole mission is pretty deep, actually. It's existential. It doesn't even start with engineering or tech. It starts with philosophy. It's all about protecting the one thing that makes us human, consciousness. And that right there, that's the real why behind something like SpaceX.
And he has this really powerful way of describing it. He says he pictures consciousness as this tiny candle in a vast darkness. Think about that. He sees it as something super rare, super fragile. It's not guaranteed to stick around. It's just this little flicker of light that we have to protect because it could so easily be snuffed out, by an asteroid, a supervolcano, or something we do to ourselves.
So, what's the solution? Well, this slide nails it. Right now, humanity is a single-planet species. All our eggs are in this one basket called Earth. The solution is to become multi-planetary. It's about building a backup drive for humanity. It's literally the ultimate insurance policy for that little candle of consciousness, making sure that if something catastrophic happens here, the flame doesn't go out for good.
But just surviving, that's only step one, right? If the first part of the plan is to keep the candle from going out, the second part is about making life here on Earth so amazing, so bright, that it's absolutely worth protecting in the first place. And this brings us to what he calls the path to abundance.
So what does he even mean by abundance? Well, he's talking about a future where AI and robotics can make pretty much everything, all the goods, all the services we could ever want. So much so that things are basically free. Imagine a world where you can have anything you want because the cost of labor to make it is zero. For him, this isn't just a cool idea. It's the only real way to end poverty for everyone on the planet.
Okay, but this leads to a huge, huge question, maybe the biggest question of all. If robots and AI are doing all the jobs, all the work that needs to be done, what's left for us? What do we do? How do you find purpose and meaning in your life when work just isn't a thing you have to do anymore?
And here's a little taste of what that could actually look like day to day. We're not just talking about robots in factories. We're talking about humanoid robots helping with some of the hardest, most important stuff we do, like taking care of our kids, our pets, even our aging parents. That would free us up to focus on, whatever we decide truly matters. Which, again, forces us to ask that question. What would you actually do with all that freedom?
All right, so we've got this incredible vision, right? We're going multi-planetary to protect consciousness, and we're building a world of total abundance with robots. But there's a catch. A huge bottleneck. Both of these things, they run on electricity, and we are going to need an absolutely insane amount of it.
And this chart, this really shows you the heart of the problem. Look at that. The need for AI compute power is just shooting for the moon. It's growing exponentially. But our ability to make electricity, it's just inching along, growing at this slow, steady, linear pace. We are literally on a path to build way more AI brains than we'll ever have the electricity to turn on. That's a huge issue.
So what's Musk's answer to this? Well, it's kind of simple. He just says, look up. The sun is right there. It's a gigantic, free fusion reactor just hanging out in the sky. I mean, it accounts for almost all the mass in our solar system. For all intents and purposes, it is the energy source. It's just sitting there waiting for us to use it.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because the scale of the solution is surprisingly small. To power the entire United States, everything, you'd only need a square of solar panels that's about 100 miles by 100 miles. You could tuck that away in a little corner of Nevada or Utah, no problem. All of a sudden, this massive, world-ending energy crisis starts to feel pretty doable, actually.
But hey, why even stop there? Why keep the solar panels on Earth? The next logical step is to merge the space plan with the energy plan. I mean, think about it. In space, a solar panel gets sunshine 24/7. It's about 5 times more efficient up there. So the plan becomes, let's build these massive solar-powered AI data centers in orbit, where you have all the energy you could ever want and cooling them is super easy.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds like crazy, far-off science fiction, right? You're not wrong to think that. But here's the kicker. The timeline for all this stuff, it's not in decades, it's happening right now, and it's moving incredibly fast.
I mean, just look at this timeline. He's predicting AI will be smarter than any one human by the end of this year. Humanoid robots you can actually buy, end of next year. And an AI that's smarter than all of humanity put together. That's coming in about 5 years. This isn't some 50-year vision. This is a flat-out sprint.
So when you put all these pieces together, you see it, right? It's one single story. First, secure consciousness by going to the stars. Second, build a world of total abundance right here on Earth. And third, power the whole thing with the sun. And it's all happening on a timeline that just feels insane. This isn't just a collection of business plans, it's a roadmap for what comes next for all of us.
And in the end, it all comes back to that one big question we started with. If technology can solve the problem of survival and it can solve the problem of our physical needs, what's left? We're left with the challenge of figuring out meaning. In a future where we have everything we need to live, the last and maybe the hardest question we have to answer for ourselves is, why are we living in the first place? What gives us purpose?